So we used our poached chicken because we make a lot of it. And it is dark chicken meat because it's the best part of the chicken. And all I did was I poached it in some salted ginger water for about 30 minutes. And then I let it sit for 30 minutes. It was bone in. And then I took it and dropped it in an ice bath to just bring it down real quick, and then I shredded it up. So that's how simple it is. But again, you can just go buy it at the grocery store already done for you, and that's perfectly fine. Okay. We have a bunch of fresh. The aromatics we'll use today are cilantro and a vegetable that also is a aromatic is celery. And we'll slice those up for you. I've already had, or I should say Jasmine's already done us a favor and Julienned very nicely the carrots. Isn't that awesome? That's with that little tool you asked me about, Michelle, safely cutting a rolling vegetable.
Okay, you want to cut?
Well, I don't really have a safe here. Cut both ends, find a flat spot, cut it in half. It's always about finding a flat, okay? And all I'm doing is cutting up little slices. It doesn't have to be perfect because everything is going to get wrapped up. Okay. In the freezer. And you do not need to cook them. You can warm them up if you want to, and the way to warm them up is to wrap them in a damp paper towel, the whole stack of them. One package is usually about 10 in there. I just pull it out of the bag, put a wet paper towel around it, throw it in the microwave for about like 10-15 seconds, and that's it. And just throw it onto a pie plate with the wet paper towel, and it'll keep it nice and moist. Put it on the table to serve. Everyone grabs one, throws the fillings in there, and then they're done. Because it looks pretty. And it's easier to cut it that way. Oh, and the other trick is if you cut it at an angle, it doesn't curl. When you have too much and you stick it in the fridge and a straight stick starts to go like that, it won't do that if you cut it at an angle. I think it's just because we're cutting off its highways for water. Balsamic's probably the only one I wouldn't recommend for this, but apple cider is fine. A fruit vinegar of any sort is actually quite nice for this. And so what we'll want to do is pour everything in here into a bowl. Okay, hoisin sauce coming down, sesame oil, white pepper. And you want to do this separately. You don't want to actually just throw it right into a bowl because you want to mix that sauce first. Okay. Otherwise you'll have big boluses of white pepper when you bite, and that is so not fun. Not fun at all. White, this one's the rice vinegar.
Really spicy.
Did you? And I am doing a double batch, so that's why there's a lot more of this. So there is sugar in here. The hot mustard, I am going to use the 2 tablespoons first. We will taste, and then we'll add more. Okay, because that's where it's going to get straight. It's like eating wasabi. Okay.
I didn't see the sesame oil. Was it toasted or was it regular?
Toasted. Did I say Kadoya in there?
Yes.
Okay. Always the toasted. Yeah. If you buy Kadoya, it's pretty much only toasted. Okay. That you buy as well, and it makes it really nice and emulsified fairly quickly. If you really like some sharpness and spiciness to this, throw a fresh clove of garlic in there in that food processor. You can also use a blender for this whole thing. Okay. It needs a little bit more sesame oil, so I'm going to swipe it out of here. But it's pretty good. Sweet, savory, and a little bit of that spiciness from the hot mustard. So it's not like a chili hot mustard, it's more of right here up in your sinuses, kind of like wasabi. Do the chicken first. This is called folding. This is called mixing. Fold and mix. Then we toss all the vegetables in there. And if you like a little bit of everything else, you just add more. You can add crushed nuts to this if you want. Can you get me my MU SHU shells? You can also make this ahead of time, but not more than like a day. because you've got a watery vegetable, watery fruit in there in the cucumber, it will just kind of it'll lose its kind of texture. It'll just continue to wilt, and you don't want to do that. If you need to make it more than a day in advance, just keep the cucumbers out and add them back later. And it's basically a wheat flour based crepe, Chinese crepe that you can make. And there's tons of recipes on how to make them at home by yourself, but like I said, if you know how to make crepes, just do that. Just leave the vanilla out and you're totally fine.